My journey with toxic parents. I grew up in a house that looked perfectly normal from the outside. The windows were clean, the lawn was trimmed, and my parents smiled for photographs. But behind those doors, life was far from what it appeared to be. My parents weren't monsters in the traditional sense. No one would have guessed what it was like to live with them. But their words, their attitudes, and their patterns left scars that were invisible to most of the world. As a child, I quickly learned the rules of survival. Rule number 1, don't upset mom. Rule number 2, don't disagree with dad. Rule number 3, no matter how much it hurts, keep quiet. My parents were not interested in who I was, they were interested in who they wanted me to be. If I got good grades, it wasn't celebrated, it was expected. If I failed at something, even just once, I was reminded of how much I disappointed the family. Praise was rare, but criticism was constant. If I cried, I was told I was weak. If I spoke up, I was told I was ungrateful. Slowly, I learned that love was conditional. And the condition was simple: be perfect, or be invisible. By the time I hit my teenage years, the walls of that house felt like a cage. My parents controlled everything, my friends, my hobbies, even what I wore. If I ever tried to assert myself, they reminded me of all they had sacrificed for me. There was this one moment that stays with me. I remember getting excited about a small achievement. I'd written a short story in class, and my teacher praised it. When I came home and shared the news, my mother didn't even look up from the kitchen counter. She just said, "Stories don't pay the bills. Focus on something useful." It wasn't just rejection of my dreams, it was rejection of me. That's when the cracks in their mask started to show. I realized my parents didn't want me to grow, they wanted me to stay small, obedient, and dependent. When I finally left home, I thought I was free. But I carried their voices inside me. Every decision I made was haunted by guilt. Am I disappointing them? Am I selfish for choosing my own path? Am I wrong for wanting happiness? The thing about toxic parents is that even when you physically leave the house, their voices echo in your mind. They don't need to be in the room to control you. Whenever I tried to set boundaries, they accused me of being cold, disrespectful, or ungrateful. And for years, I believed them. I thought maybe I was the problem. The real turning point came during a phone call. My father was angry about something trivial. He said I wasn't calling enough, wasn't doing enough for them. He told me, "We gave you everything. The least you could do is give us your life back." And for the first time, instead of shrinking, I felt something rise inside me. Anger, yes, but also clarity. I realized, parents are supposed to give children roots and wings. Mine only gave me chains. And that's when I made a choice. I could spend the rest of my life trying to earn love that would never come, or I could finally start giving that love to myself. Healing hasn't been quick or easy. At first, it felt wrong to set boundaries. It felt unnatural to say no, but slowly, I started building a new foundation. I went to therapy. I read books. I surrounded myself with people who reminded me of my worth, not people who drained it. I learned that family isn't always blood. Sometimes, family is the people who see you, accept you, and celebrate you for exactly who you are. I began rewriting the story in my head. Instead of, "I am broken because of my parents," I started saying, "I am strong despite my parents." Now, I look back and see my journey as both painful and powerful. My parents may never change. They may never apologize. And I've accepted that. But here's what I know, I broke the cycle. I didn't let their toxicity define my future. I learned to love myself without their approval. I gave myself the freedom they never offered me. And maybe the most healing part. Realizing that my story isn't one of tragedy, it's one of survival. It's one of reclaiming my voice after years of silence. If you grew up with toxic parents, you know the unique kind of loneliness it brings. You know what it's like to question your worth, to carry invisible bruises, to feel guilty for wanting happiness. But here's the truth I've learned: we are not obligated to shrink ourselves to fit someone else's broken mold. We have the power to step out, to grow, to redefine love on our own terms. My journey with toxic parents was long and heavy, but it led me to one undeniable truth: sometimes the family we are born into is not the family we are meant to keep. And that's okay. Because at the end of the day, the most important relationship you will ever have is the one you build with yourself. And that's where my real journey begins.